welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck, where you get real news from real people like us, right?
It's us,
Exactly.
yeah.
And it's Monday, and we're excited to be here. We have a huge week, and we have a huge day ahead of us. So excited. First of all, I'm here with Jan and Patty, and we have our guests. We're going to start right out of the gates. We're going to bring a guest on. His name is Justin Sabo, and he is the CEO of Defend North Dakota. And this is something that's been relatively new. Justin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Myself personally, I work as a nurse. I've been running Defend North Dakota as a Facebook group since last year, and we've now branched out to a website. But I'm from Bismarck, and I'm married for 20 years this year.
Awesome.
And 2 great children and a grandchild. So.
Oh my gosh, you don't look old
Yes.
enough to be a grandpa.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, awesome.
He's a great
job.
kid.
That's exciting. And so you said you're a nurse?
Mm-hmm.
And so you must have an opinion about stuff going on. I know that's not necessarily why you came, but it sure
Right.
is interesting.
Right. Yeah,
with-
lots of opinions.
Awesome, and that's what we like about you. So do you have a quick opinion on COVID and masks or anything in general?
Personally, myself, I have not, I've tried not to wear a mask anywhere I go. Since I've had to wear one on more of a permanent basis with employment, I've developed a chronic cough that I can't seem to get rid of unless I go an extended period of time without a mask. And I have asthma, so, but unfortunately some places they don't care about your health conditions. So I'm definitely anti-mask. And as far as vaccines go, I personally have not gotten the vaccine, and I won't get the vaccine. I just feel that it's too new, that it was rushed through, and
It's not even approved by the FDA.
Correct. And the fact that the vaccine manufacturers cannot be held liable for any side effects, including death, is a concern for me.
Oh, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Defend ND. What is it all about?
Sure. Defend North Dakota, we are all about getting people involved in local and state government. Our slogan is be informed, get involved. We want people to play a bigger part in government, play a bigger part in a smaller government is what we want. Smaller government, less regulation. So we like to educate people, give them the information, let them do their own research, but give them the tools to be able to do that. And
So
to
what
help.
are some of those tools? What are you developing?
So I have a website, defendnd.com. On the website there is resources such as links to, actually it's set up so you can go to your county, you can find links for everything from your state's attorney to the highway maintenance manager. So that way you can contact them with concerns that you may have. Also there's links to the North Dakota Constitution, how to find out what district you're in, how to find out who your district representatives are. All common questions that we get on Facebook.
So what made you feel the need for an organization like this?
Well, it started when there was all these riots that were happening, and I wanted a way for North Dakotans to be able to communicate, and that's how my Facebook group started. A way for like-minded people to be able to be ready at a moment's notice, and that evolved to getting people informed and involved in local and state politics.
Interesting.
I'm guessing there was talk over a kitchen table or maybe over a few beers, that this came about. Is that, was it your idea or were you kind of brainstorming with friends?
No, it was my idea. It was kind of on a whim, and I felt it was something I was really passionate about and felt it was really important. But as the idea evolved from Facebook to website, I did get friends and family involved to get input.
Okay, so when you talked about the protests, are you talking way back during the DAPL protests, or are you talking about the more recent out west?
Summertime.
Yeah, the BLM and Antifa,
Okay,
going downtown and looting and burning businesses.
sure.
type of
And
thing.
so how do you recruit members?
They can just sign up. I try to do a little bit of advertising, but for the most part, it's word of mouth through Facebook. We've built a lot of connections with people on Facebook and friends. So that's just kind of the way we do it. We're looking to expand that because right now we're more localized Bismarck, Mandan. We have some from around the rest of North Dakota, but we're looking at expanding the advertising and stuff.
Sure.
So.
And what are some big accomplishments from this year? Because it is the legislative session. Have you got some big achievements that you want to brag about?
Yeah, and anything that we accomplish is always a cumulative effort. I mean, there's a lot of people involved, so I can't say that we can take credit for
Sure, but
everything.
just getting people active and just getting people the notice and the knowledge just to get them moving.
Yeah, we helped, lead the charge with the email effort on the mask bill. We feel that the mass emails really had an effect on getting it through the House.
Since this is a group of like-minded people, how do you screen for membership?
Good question. So what I do is hop on Facebook, do Google search. I need to verify that they are who they are, and we don't want a lot of trolls or bots or whatever you want to call them infiltrating our group and causing issues. So we do go through a screening process for admission.
So then someone has to be approved before they can even join the group.
Correct.
I see.
And that's on Facebook and on the website, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I just joined because you have videos too. So I just joined that. I don't think I got screened.
No, not on that.
But I know there's other things too, and there you're just watching videos. And so, yeah, I know there's other levels that you can join and activities, everything from articles to information. And so you really are providing a service, right?
Yes,
Getting us the information that will be helpful.
All
absolutely.
right, well, let's pop up that website again because I found it interesting on the bottom. It says, "Liberty, once lost, is lost forever. Be informed and get involved." I guess we can't stress that enough, can we?
No, absolutely not.
Awesome. Well, we are going to come back after this, and we're going to talk a little bit. You have a gala coming up with some excellent speakers, I understand.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that next, and I can't wait. So we'll be right back after this. Stay with us on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota.
Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county. Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
Beck Communications is now hiring independent sales agents around the state. We're looking for highly motivated individuals to take advantage of this opportunity, selling advertising for our news and sports programming on Beck TV and sponsorships for the Bismarck Bucks indoor football team. Independent sales agents will make 50% commission on their completed sales for all products. Beck TV is the leader in broadcasting local sports, owner of the Bismarck Bucks indoor football team, and originator of newly launched news opinion programming. Submit your application now at careers@bechtel.coop. This is an exciting opportunity you can't pass up. 50% commission for independent sales agents now hiring at Beck Communications.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Pub 21, your one stop for fun, drinks, and food. Our spacious facility provides COVID-safe fun for you and all your friends. With nightly bingo and specials, you can be sure there's something to do for everyone. If you're staying in for the night, we've got you covered just across the way with Pub 21 Liquor. We have a wide variety of options, from wine to whiskey and everything in between. Stop in today at 1014 South 12th Street in Bismarck to see what all the buzz is about. You won't be disappointed.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We are excited to be sitting here with Justin Sabo. He is the CEO of Defend North Dakota, which is basically a website that kind of helps people get active if they want to know more about politics and getting involved in helping to make a change so that we don't have to live in tyranny for the rest of our lives, okay? I went there. Anyway, so
what a surprise.
Okay, so there is a gala that you guys are putting on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the gala?
Sure. This gala is based on the House Bill 1323, correct. Yeah. 1323. There's so many House bills I've been following. So House Bill 1323, which is to prevent the state from mandating people to wear masks. Now, businesses still have the freedom to be able to require them to come into their stores if they wish, but we just want to prevent the government from being able to make that decision for us. The gala will have several guest speakers, and there it is. Several guest speakers, Tammy Clark, who is an OSHA environmental health and safety professional with years of experience, and Kristen Megan, who's worked in occupational and environmental toxicology, and as a senior industrial hygienist. That's a mouthful.
Wow.
It is, yeah.
Sounds like they know their stuff.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
So who can all go to this gala?
Anybody. It's open to the public.
And how many will the building hold? Because it's up at the Heritage Center, isn't it?
Correct. I believe it's 260.
But there's, I did talk with Representative Hoverson, who's helping to sponsor it. There's going to be a couple classrooms open, and they're also going to do FaceTime Live. And I'm hoping there's going to be an overflow crowd because these ladies are dynamic. Yes. They are informative. And this isn't just for like-minded people, right? Like
Correct.
It'd be great if everybody came, especially if you disagree. If you think there should be a mask mandate, then come on and listen and challenge them.
Yes, yes, we want everybody to come, whether you're for the mask bill or against it. You know, it's a great time to get your questions answered, find out a lot about the issue.
Well, so many people are saying, when can we finally take the masks off? And these folks can answer those questions for you.
Yes.
At least medically.
What I found interesting, so Tammy's going to be on our show tomorrow via Zoom, and I talked to her on the phone because I was trying to figure out, well, how long should we give her? And I realized we're going to do the whole show because she's involved in a lot of other stuff too.
Yes.
But they are the ladies who have trained doctors and nurses on the protocols and the best mask practices. So they totally know their stuff.
Absolutely. They have a whole list of accomplishments in this invitation. So it's going to be exciting, and we encourage everybody to come.
And so how did you get people of this level to come to Bismarck? Because these are some heavy hitters.
Yeah, Jeff Hoverson was, the representative Jeff Hoverson was instrumental in that. and we have a whole group of people working on getting this gala put together. So it was something that interested them, and they were more than happy to come down or come up over.
Or wherever they're from.
Wherever they're from.
Well, this is co-sponsored too by Health Freedom North Dakota. Now that's a separate group from Defend ND.
It is.
So what's the difference? Why don't you explain that to us?
The difference between the groups?
Yes, between Health Freedom and Defend ND.
Sure. Like we had discussed, Defend ND is focused on getting people involved in state and local politics. So there's a number of issues that we are involved in. Health Freedom North Dakota is focuses solely on the health aspect of issues and bills. They're an excellent group. You name it, and they have probably got their hands in it. So
sure. Well, now it's all over the news that they're thinking about having kind of like a passport for your vaccines. Mm-hmm. Are they going to touch on that?
I'm sure the ladies, the speakers.
Yes.
If they don't, there's going to be an opportunity for questions at the end. So we will make sure that that's one of the questions.
So what is your opinion on that? I think they tried to sneak it in, you know.
Yeah, that's completely unfair that you cannot travel or go certain places while getting, unless you're vaccinated.
And the thing is I've had COVID. And so when you have a disease, like COVID is what they're calling it, it's a virus, a viral disease, I should be immune to ever getting it again. Yes, I might be able to get a different strain, but I should never get this. It's just like the flu in the sense where if you have that strain, you won't get it again. It's like chicken pox or smallpox or measles. Once you have it, you're not supposed to get it again. So what would be the need for a vaccine?
That's a good question. I'm a firm believer in herd immunity. So if they're calling it a disease, that's the way diseases eventually fizzle out, is herd immunity. So, and they've said a lot of people have been infected, so we have to be, I'm sure, at herd immunity by now.
I would think, at least 90% of I'm in several different friend groups per se, and my family, 90% of just about everybody I know has had COVID. And so that's just in my circles. So I would think that's kind of average, I would think.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact number, if it's like 80% or so.
Wow.
To achieve herd immunity.
The other thing I'm wondering is I'm not hearing any talk about people that have already had COVID. I'm hearing, well, we might make a passport if you're fully vaccinated. But where in the history of diseases where we've had vaccinations, has it ever been that the vaccination is better than getting the disease? My understanding is, like with vaccinations, sometimes you need boosters, sometimes they wear off.
Well, now they're talking about a third shot, another booster
So there's
after
a
year 2.
And the disease has always been the most effective way of you're not going to get it
Mm-hmm.
again, right?
Exactly.
So there's a piece missing here.
There's a lot of pieces
yeah.
missing.
And I think your other sponsor, I was going to say sister group, but they really aren't related, but
No.
They're both doing very good things. The folks at Health Freedom North Dakota are working on educating people about health issues so that you can make an informed decision, whether it's about vaccinations, whether it's about masks. That's why they're involved in this, I would assume.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Terrific group. Lexi Wengler is the one that I talk to frequently. And they are great on keeping us up to date on those issues.
Okay, so I understand that it is finger foods at 6:30, guest speakers at 7 o'clock, and free will donations accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So are you selling advance, like tickets? Like what if you run out of room?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just first come, first serve pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much, because we're not selling tickets. So, when we're full, we're full, I guess. So free will, our donations are to help contribute to these very nice ladies that are coming to help offset some of the costs of the gala and stuff. So this is going to be a fantastic event, and we're really excited.
And when
these ladies are my heroes because they're going across the country, and they don't know whether they get paid or not. They're just doing this to get this information out. It's so important.
Okay, and so when I think of a gala, I think of something fancy. Do you have to get dressed up for this? or
Absolutely not. It's come as you are.
Perfect.
Yep.
Best kind of party.
Yes. And finger foods, add that on top.
What more could you want?
All right, well, we're excited for that. I think just about all of us are going to try to make that.
Yes, yeah. And we'll
Absolutely.
be there early so we get a seat. And thank you,
Yes.
Justin, for arranging this gala. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
appreciate it. We do thank you for coming and informing everybody about what's going on in the community, because I think it's something we all need to know about.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. We will be right back with Father Josh to talk about some shoes after these messages on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
Indoor football is back in Bismarck. Bucks football season is right around the corner. Grab a friend or family member for a night of action-packed, hard-hitting entertainment. The Bucks open at the Bismarck Event Center May 8th as they take on the Massachusetts Pirates. Catch the sweetest seats in the house right on the sidelines with VIP service at a Bucks turf table. Available now for single game purchases. Secure your tickets today by calling 701-595-0771. Bucks football, half the field and double the fun.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground. Enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate dedicated connection Beck Fiber.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Ever been in a cave before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the car!
How will we?
The car! Your offer's been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing.
But how will we?
The closing!
Beck News brings you real people and real news. Every weekday on KNDB, KNDM, and KRDK. Start your evening with the Dr. Duke Show at 4. Take a fresh look at current events with Ladies of Another View at 4:30. Go down the road with Joel at 5:30. Watch No Apologies with Becker at 9. Cap off your night with No Filter with Debbie at 10. Beck News. Real people, real news.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We are fast forwarding and meeting with Father Joshua Waltz. He is from the Church of, how do we put this? I always say St. Joe's Church, but it's actually Church of St. Joseph's in Mandan, North Dakota. Just so we don't get it mixed up with any other old ordinary St. Joe's, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. It's in the year of St. Joseph, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pope Francis just announced the year of St. Joseph, so.
So tell us what that's all about.
You know, there's different popes have kind of dedicated different years to different things. We had the year of faith, we had the year of St. Paul, we had the year of the priest, and now we have the year of St. Joseph. And it's just to kind of highlight. St. Joseph is, as a character within history, within a character of salvation history, has been getting more and more kind of recognition. You know, he plays a very silent role. They even say, you know, a lot of scriptural theologians say that he doesn't speak at all. within the New Testament. He does, in fact, though. I found one place where he speaks. It says that that his father named him Jesus.
Oh.
So he said one word in the whole New Testament. It was Jesus. And
Awesome.
but yeah, so it's just kind of, he's the patron of the Universal Church. He has a lot of different titles. One of my favorite ones is Terror of Demons.
Awesome.
But he's, the protector of the Holy Family and therefore the protector of the Universal Church. So just taking a closer look at St. Joseph and what his role is within salvation history, and then what his role is within the family, what his role is within the individual parishes, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, that's great. And you're pretty much a frequent flyer here. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time we've had you on the show.
I am blessed among women.
Yes. And the reason I called you, I was just so upset about this shoe release.
Yeah, I actually preached on it this weekend.
I heard it.
Yeah, I was, I couldn't, I mean, you have sometimes where the devil kind of hides and he's in the background and he's trying to play his cards and stuff, but at this point he's so in your face and
Big time.
Yeah, he's not hiding anymore.
So what I want to do, I want to just tell our viewers right now that there is a rapper. I don't even want to, it's called Lil Nas. Lil Nas. He can't even spell little.
N-A-S.
And Nas. I don't know if it stands for nauseating. Is it nauseating? Is that possible? But anyway, he's collaborating with MSCHF. Excuse me. And what they do is they take shoes, and it just so happens that this shoe was manufactured by Nike.
Right.
All right. So Nike's getting a pretty bad rap on this, which I think they should, because if they obviously haven't made a real strong statement that, hey, you can't use our product for something like this.
Right.
That's really disheartening. But go ahead and pop this up. I want you to see the shoe. So this shoe evidently is made with drops of human blood.
Sure looks like Nike.
It looks like Nike to me, doesn't it?
They have a red liquid in the bottom. You see the bottom of the sole, and they said there's a drop of human blood in every pair of shoes.
And they made 666 pair available. And
they're going for like $1,000 a pair too.
Right.
And they sold out in 1 minute.
There's, this is interesting. It says better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. There's a lot of, within the video, there's actually a lot of quotes that he, in a very artistic way. So like when you have the Garden of Eden and it shows in the tree, there's Greek that's etched into the tree. And what it is it's Plato's Symposium. And he's talking about how, and you hear this sometimes in corny, maid of honor speeches or groom speeches where they say that man and woman were originally androgynous, right? They had no sexuality. And then the gods came along and split them. And that's what became male and female. And ever since then, they've been trying to, come back together as one. And so he puts that on there. It has a very, the homosexual themes are over the top in this video. And so what he's trying to get at is that we were originally androgynous. That means that we were without sex. And that the gay sort of, the homosexual tendency is really a natural tendency back to that androgyny. So instead of, and I think this is where a lot of arguments come, is the disordered nature of the sexual act, right? Nothing against the gay person. In fact, we should love them and we should help them, and Christianity overwhelmingly says that, but the act itself is disordered. And I talk to my students a lot about this. I would say that if you have a man who's fornicating with a bunch of women, I'm going to be just as much against that guy as I am against, because it's all disorder within the sexual nature. And so he uses, that's one of his quotes he used, and then he uses another one when he's actually in hell, around Satan's throne. In Latin it says, they judge what they don't understand. And so, but it's, for me, like, it's as nauseating.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't
Pun
come up
intended.
with it. But as nauseating as the video is, it's just bizarre to me, because as the enemy tries to show us these things, he's also showing that this guy who is putting on a pedestal the homosexual act and all is reigning in hell. And so you know, when we say that only the ordered sexual act is what leads to happiness and joy and life and all these things, he actually makes a video in which he shows that this is not leading to happiness, it's leading to hell. And so it's just bizarre to me how you would make a video that you're trying to be pro all this, you know, gay culture and all this stuff, but you do it in hell. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
and in fact, you're ruining your message. I don't know. Anyway.
But they're so attracted to that evil message, like you said.
Right.
It used to be hidden, but now they're just all out and open. And what I'm finding as a Catholic writer, that a lot of the satanic groups, the satanic church, they will say, well, we're just kidding. We're just doing this to get attention. We don't really mean it. So, Father, I'd be interested, like, you don't get to just kid about that stuff, right?
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't get to play around with the enemy. I think a lot of people do. I actually just, and I'm not saying this for TV or anything, but I literally just got a call like last week, and it was this lady, and I don't know who she was or what she wanted, but she, on the message, it said, Father, I did something really, really bad. I was having fun with my friends, and I played with a Ouija board, and I was trying to bring my grandma back, and I definitely brought something back, but it wasn't my grandma, and I need your help. That was the end of the message.
Wow.
And so I've been trying to get in touch with this woman. So if you're watching, call me back. But I haven't heard it. It was just a very bizarre message. But yes, even if you're just doing it for fun, I always tell people, a lot of people have had it in their past, right, where they've done it, and then they're like, "Am I okay?" I'm like, "Just go to confession, be done with it. You know, serve the Lord. As long as you're living a good, holy life, you're trying to be a Christian, you're living a prayer life. The enemy has no power over you." When you do stuff like this guy's doing, yeah, I think people think that they can somehow share in Satan's power like we share in God's power. But J.R. Tolkien said it best in Lord of the Rings. He said he made, you know, the Lord of Darkness made all these rings so that people could share in his power, but he says, but they were all deceived because he shares no power.
Sure.
And so he'll pull you into a certain point until it's too late, and then he just takes back what he had.
Only to destroy you.
Yep.
And I had Father Vincent Lampert, he's an exorcist in the Archdiocese of Indianapolis, and I said, well, is Satan more powerful? Is he more active? He said no. He has not upped his game. There's just more people willing to play it these days, right?
Well, I mean, it's what we call social sin.
In less than a minute, just give us your synopsis.
Yeah, so the structure of America right now is cloaked in sin, and the more sin there is, the less power there is for good, because so many people are doing the wrong thing. And so yeah, we're trying to push back where the more good there is, the less evil can triumph. The more bad there is, the easier it is for evil to triumph. And the more necessary it is for good people.
But woe to them that call good evil and evil
Right.
good.
Right. So anyway, I just wanted to point out that Nike was quick to distance itself from the shoes, telling CNN that it had not been involved in creating the shoes and that it has no relationship with either the rapper or MSCHF,
Mischief.
which I've heard is called Mischief, right. It says Nike did not design or release these shoes and we do not endorse them is what Nike said. But
Except the Nike symbols on the shoe. Like,
yeah, exactly. So we have more to talk about when we get back after these messages on Ladies of Another View on Back.
Today's households have more digital devices than ever before. More links to family, business, education, and entertainment. Beck Communications spent over 10 years building North Dakota's fastest fiber optic internet service. Beck Lightband Internet, outpacing speeds in large cities nationwide. Lightband Internet handles all your digital needs without throttling your connection to the world. Beck Communications, valuable digital connections in rural North Dakota.
Since opening in Hebron in 1940, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your hometown bank. Our mission has been to provide modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. We've grown with the communities we serve through year-round events, countless sponsorships, and nearly 7,000 hours of volunteering each year. Learn more about our 80-year history at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We are visiting with Father Josh Wallace of Church of St. Joseph's in Mandan. It's hard to say that. I'm sorry. Anyway, we were going to talk a little bit about St. Joseph's Church, but I'm still not quite done with the devil. All right. So, you know, for people who dabble in something like this, what are their eternal consequences? Like,
well, and I mean, the thing I would like to point out is that every single person has built into them, it's innate. Everybody has it. It's a religious part of them. And people say I'm spiritual. It's fine. Whatever you want to call it. Every human being has it inside of them. Even the satanic, they're searching for something that is beyond this world. And we all know that we're not made for this world. We know it. Everybody has this inkling, and they always say the atheist's greatest worry is that there is a God, and the believer's greatest worry is that there isn't a God. And so we're constantly going back and forth with this, but it's been within us for millennia, since the foundation of humanity. Even Jordan Peterson, who I'm a big fan of, he said, he was kind of an atheist psychologist. He's a leading psychologist in his field, and he's kind of slowly becoming a believer. And one of the arguments he made is he said, what we're doing as a society, just taking God and throwing him out of society. He said, whether God exists or not, this is a terrible idea. And the reason it's a terrible idea is because for millennia, thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of years, as long as human beings have been around, this notion of God has been in the moral fabric of who we are. And to take him out and just throw him out the window, he's like, it's going to be catastrophic. And that's what we're seeing. As we throw God out the window, people then, they still have this within them, and it's not being fed now. And so what they're doing is they're going to mediums, they're reading horoscopes, palm readers. We were even talking during the break, they had somebody down at the Civic Center that was, kind of a fortune teller sort of thing. And people that I knew that were Catholic, have told me that they went to that. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And part of it is because as we move away from Christ, we still have this need. And we begin to look to places that we're unfamiliar with. And the more unfamiliar you are with a thing, the more dangerous that thing becomes, because you don't know what you're worshiping, who you're speaking to, what you're encountering. And like we said before the break, that's why this lady who called me was, just kind of playing around with something, and all of a sudden she opened a door she couldn't shut. you know, from a natural standpoint. So now she needs supernatural help. And so again, just to hammer home to anybody, you know, especially if you're Protestant, just go to Jesus, you know, and ask forgiveness. If you're Catholic, go to confession. Confession's stronger than any exorcism that can be performed. And get back to your faith. Jesus came so that we would know, as he said, the way, the truth, and the life to God. As long as we stay with him, we're staying with true worship. We get outside of that, you're on your own.
So what do you say to the young generation? They just think, oh, it's a cool song, or it's cool to watch this video, or that. What do we say to them? Because they know more than all of us put together, right? You know, how do you tell a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old to stay away from that stuff?
In confirmation class, and when I was teaching at the high school and I taught at the university, I just told them stories of what I saw. I think that, you know, when you have tangible evidence that you have seen, that you've been involved with, that I've been face-to-face with the demonic, that I've seen a possessed person, that I can explain the story about what happened, how it happened, what caused it, they're fascinated with that. And what drives me nuts is that, you know, in every class, you know, students are always like, Father, can I do this? Is it still considered a sin? I'm like, why are you guys searching for like the least, the minimalist view? Why aren't you? I'm dying for a student to be like, Father, if I do this, is it like virtuous enough? Oh. You know? But they're always looking at what they can get away with and still get to heaven. I'm like, if that's your view, you're not going to make it. Like Jesus said, be perfect for my heavenly Father is perfect. And that's that's our bar. Right. Anything less than that, we're failing. And so I've just found a lot of success just, telling them what I've seen.
Well, the scary thing is there's people like Tom Brady who attribute some of his Super Bowl successes to his wife being a witch.
Witchcraft, yeah.
Witchcraft,
I didn't know
and so
that.
it's slipping in. Both last year and this year.
It was crazy. He did this interview. You can watch it. It's online. It was with Gillette, I think, and they were like giving him a shave post-season, and he was talking about his wife, Giselle, and he's like, yeah, she builds an altar for me before every game and makes me drink these little like liquid. I mean, they're like legitimate potions. You know, he doesn't call them potions, but he's like, and then she'll tell me, you know, what my future is for the year, if it's going to be a winning year or a losing year. And she has all these incantations that she says over the year for my success. And I'm like, I mean, that's like, you can sit back and be like, oh, that's a very caring wife. Or you can be like, that's a witch. Like, I don't, it just, I mean,
she calls herself a witch.
But she's beautiful. She doesn't have the pointy hat or the pointy nose. She's a Victoria's Secret supermodel, but she's doing the things that witches do. You know, it's crazy.
And witchcraft is becoming very popular. But even, you were talking about that medium. And a lot of people don't understand, like Catholics will ask for prayers from saints, but mediums are clearly a cult, and either they're phony or it's the devil that's talking to them.
Yep.
Well, and I have watched some of her shows on TV, I'll be honest, and she always points out, because she is Catholic, and she always brings it up and kind of makes
a lie, though. It's a lie.
She makes a joke about it, and she says, well, they always accept my check, and that's how she covers it. And it's
part of it too is like, you know, and maybe she has this in the church. From the very foundation, we have what's called charisms, right, or gifts, and they're gifts that are given, and they're given not for you. They're given for the universal church. And there are people that have the ability, I'm not going to say to speak to the dead, but there are people that have, you know, sort of a ability to,
like a sixth sense.
Yeah, and it's meant for the good of the church. When you're using it for yourself and making your own money, that's a huge abuse of a God-given gift.
So what could she be doing for the church with that gift, if it is
spiritual direction? You know, if she would come around and have a deep faith life, yeah, she could be helping tons of people by not telling them, hey, grandma said this, but hey, you know, you should be praying for your grandma. She needs help. You know, instead of trying to connect the two worlds and being this intermediary between the two, which is strictly forbidden in the Bible. I mean, it's clear. And so to be able to say I'm Catholic and I'm doing this, if you're doing something that's against the biblical teaching, you can't be living the faith properly.
A lot of the kids, they're watching all of these rap stars, all of these sports stars, all of those things. How do we get
them.
absolutely, you know, they're going to hang on every word. So how do we cut that off?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's
Besides
a tough one.
the fact of just watching what your kids watch and doing your best to really, I mean, take care of them. I tell people all the time in the parish or parents, I'm like, if your kids have cell phones, first of all, they shouldn't even have one. I mean, literally, you should have a dumb phone until they can buy their own.
Yeah.
But if they do have one, you should have restrictions on it. You should have filters on it. You should have every single text you should be able to see, every single Instagram, Facebook. They shouldn't even have that stuff as far as I'm concerned. I don't have it. I'm fine. I'm living life. I'm living the dream. But, and I'm connected. I'm plenty connected. And like the new thing, I don't know if this, I just found out about this.
30 seconds.
I am way behind the times, but this light ring,
Never heard of it.
it's a circle and it has light on it. And like when you shine it, it helps. So when you do selfies and stuff, you have proper lighting.
Oh, good Lord.
And people are traveling with these things so that when they take pictures, they have proper lighting. Like that's I mean.
No vanity whatsoever.
Nah, not a bit.
Wow.
Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
One of the 7 deadly sins,
don't
at
do
least, right? All right, well, stick around because we're going to come back with our lighter side, and you're going to love it. Right after these messages on Ladies of Another View on BET.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Deciding how to promote your business can be hard. Visit the professionals at Dakota Promotions and Printing and let them help you through your struggle. Dakota Promotions provides promotional items and apparel from corporate gifts to team shirts and everything in between. With quick turnaround times and friendly service, they are your best choice. And best yet, you're shopping local. Visit them online at dakotapromo.com or stop in their showroom at 320 West Main in Mandan. Dakota Promotions, delivering promotions just for you.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to pull them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Indoor football is back in Bismarck. Bucks football season is right around the corner. Grab a friend or family member for a night of action-packed, hard-hitting entertainment. The Bucks open at the Bismarck Event Center May 8th as they take on the Massachusetts Pirates. Catch the sweetest seats in the house right on the sidelines with VIP service at a Bucks turf table. Available now for single game purchases. Secure your tickets today by calling 701-595-0771. Bucks football, half the field and double the fun.
Beck Communications is hiring. Beck Communications is seeking qualified candidates for plant technicians in our Wheatland, North Dakota location. Beck Communications is an equal opportunity employer. To view the job details, visit www.beck.coop. To apply, email your cover letter and resume to careers@bechtel.coop. Beck Communications, making connections that matter.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. This brings us to our lighter side, and Father has decided to stick around. He doesn't have an earpiece to get to hear the song, so we gave him a little sample of it in between. But I want you to take a look at this, and we're going to talk about it afterwards.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only skies. Imagine all the people living for today. You might say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday that you will join us. And the world will live as one. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You might say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday that you will join us, and the world will live as one.
A little bit of talent there.
A little bit of talent. So I
Boy
saw
can
that.
sing.
So I saw that as with all the racial tensions in today's society, that it's like we can live together and get along and
But not without heaven.
But not without heaven. You're right.
That's
And
the first line in the song.
And
imagine if there isn't one.
And so that really, now it bothers me. I love that song. I love the video. I was all pumped up. And then when I told Father about it, it's like, you're right. I never looked at it that way, that they're saying, imagine there is no heaven.
Well, and I think, too, I mean, to give these guys, that it was beautiful to see that I get what they're doing. And what they're doing, it worked.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, what I just said at the break is I just said, the song bothers me because the reason John Lennon wrote it was because he wanted to do away with the structures of religion, that you could just be good on your own, right? And so imagine no heaven. It's easy as if you try. No hell below us. But everybody's we can do this. It's the rise of man, right? That man is the measure of all things. And so I don't want to ruin it, but looking at it from a very philosophical bent, it becomes man is the measure of all things. And one of my favorite quotes, the Russian author Dostoevsky, he said that there are two ages of mankind, from the rise of man to the death of God, and from the death of God to the annihilation of man. And what he meant is that mankind will, under God, will rise to immense heights because God is in control, and when he is, mankind flourishes. But they'll get to a point where they say, we don't need God anymore. Think about the Tower of Babel, right? They said they're building the Tower of Babel. They said, let's make a name for ourselves and build a tower that reaches the heavens. Let's rival God. And what happens, I mean, the rest is history if you know the story of Babel, yeah. But the same thing is happening right now, that we've reached, this perfection as a race, that we don't need God anymore, and that if we could just get rid of God, we'll hit this utopia. Well, I mean, if you look at how things are going right now, we're pretty dang far from a utopia, and we're even further away from the flourishing of the human person than we've ever been before. And I would say part of that reason is because we've gotten rid of the moral law, we've gotten rid of Christianity, we've gotten rid of God, and when you do that, you'll have the annihilation of mankind.
Yeah, I think it's when it all started when they took prayer out of public school.
Yep.
Isn't it hard to believe that once upon a time, and I'm old enough to remember that, and I went to a Catholic school. we know.
And I didn't go to a Catholic school.
We didn't
I went
ask.
to
Sorry.
So.
We know that. But back in the day, isn't it hard to believe that you started every single day with a prayer in the public school? That was just standard behavior. And one lady got it out.
And it's always a bitter liberal woman that does everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. She gets
No
rid
comment.
of the.
They're always angry.
Out of that
No,
one.
I know, but it's so sad. Even the fighting
Madeline
Sunni.
Murray
Well,
O'Hare.
this is
But you know what? Actually, so I was watching this series on the Daily Wire, which I love the Daily Wire. Highly recommend it. But anyway, they did this series on the Apollo missions, the moon landing missions. And when I think it was Apollo 8, when it came around the dark, they were the first one to orbit the moon. And when they came around the dark side of the moon, and for the first time ever, they saw the Earth from the moon. And what they radioed back to Earth is it says, for everybody who's listening, we have one thing to say to you on this Christmas night. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Wow.
And the earth was a formless void. He's quoting Genesis. And I'm like, if we make it to Mars, what is the first thing coming back from Mars to the world? It is not going to be a scripture passage. Like,
it's not.
That's how embedded the faith was
into
the culture, and now it's completely gone.
That's going to have to be for another day because we have run out of
so
time.
fast.
We appreciate
Maybe
you
I just talked
stopping
too
by.
much.
There's always more to say, and we'll say it.
But you can always visit us on Facebook, visit us online at beck.news, and just, stick with us every day. You learn something new. Next time on Ladies of Another View, we're going to teach you more stuff.
Come on
back.